Welcome. We want to invite you to share some time with us in a conversation in our little program, which we call The Story Matters, because we believe every story does matter. We are very pleased today to be able to have a conversation with Rachel Lee Cummings, the Executive Director of the Counseling Service of Addison County. It's a real privilege, Rachel, to have this chance to talk with you. So we invite you to start the conversation about where are things with you and the counseling service at this point.
Hey, Len. Well, first of all, it is so wonderful to see you and reflect on the last time we spoke for your program, which was in person about a year ago when I first started the position as the executive director.
Right.
So the world has changed dramatically, but here we are, still sort of moving forward. Well, the counseling service has gone through a huge transformation. It's a little bit mind-boggling, to put it simply. I remember sending out an email to my leadership team on March 4th saying, I'm very worried and we need to get together and figure out a plan. I think this is going to escalate and escalate quickly. And so since then, we transformed the counseling service and how we do service and care and outreach to people to really do the bulk of our services remotely. So we are telehealth experts now. We continue to provide in-person care and service to a certain areas of CSAC, including our 6 residential homes, and also for essential community services. So for people who absolutely need that in-person care for a variety of reasons. Some of our business staff continue to come into our administrative building. We stagger shifts and we minimize the number of people in the building. If you're not in your office, you have to wear a mask outside of your own personal space. Just because we need to continue to sign checks and do payroll and keep the ship afloat. We also live in a very rural community in Addison County, and some of our staff don't have reliable internet. And so some staff continue to come into the office to be able to access internet and printers, supplies, etc. But again, we've really been very strict about social distancing and making sure that no 2 people are, less than 6 feet apart from another, that they're wearing masks, that they're asking themselves these 5 essential questions about exposure or symptoms before they come into the building, and that they're wearing they're washing their hands. So that's where we're at. We're open for business. We continue to serve people. Our emergency team is busy. We've started a warm line for folks who otherwise are not in service with CSAC. So if you are just struggling and you need somebody to talk to, you can call our warm line and not get enrolled in service necessarily, but get immediate access to help. So that's where we're at, Len.
Well, someplace I read that you described your staff as quick, committed, and forward thinking, forward moving. Can you say some more about the staff? How has this affected them, and how is it? What kind of sense did they have about where you are and where you're going?
The staff at CSAC are just an incredible group. I can't say that loud enough, and more, just strong enough. This is a resilient organization. We have an incredibly tight-knit and strong culture, and I really feel that has been the foundation of our ability to be agile, nimble, and transform everything. I mean, it was a huge body of work that we went through. It was, long days, 7 days a week of work, and our staff did it. A lot of folks were not experts in using Zoom or other technologies, and they learned really quickly, and it was all I think driven from the desire to continue to support people and be there with people and hold people as we move through this health pandemic, this global health pandemic, which is a shared trauma for everyone. And what I'm hearing from staff is, for the first time, they are feeling sort of those same feelings as their clients or their consumers. When you're, there's sort of that boundary when you're providing clinical or other services where you're the therapist in the room or the caregiver in the room, and you're not necessarily sort of sharing in that sort of same experience, but it's all been leveled for everyone, and we're all living through this, regardless of our background, regardless of our education, regardless of our socioeconomic situation. We're all living through this. So staff have been remarkable. They have stuck through some really difficult and scary times. They've stuck through some really speedy transitions, and we've found our footing in this new normal. And in fact, we're now starting to talk about, well, what does the next 2 weeks look like? As social distancing requirements are eased just a bit, how does CSAC adapt to this? How do staff adapt to this so that we continue to provide service to clients and to support the community, but also to be safe and protect our staff?
Could you say a word or two about the response of clients, how they have adjusted to this move and change?
Our clients have also been really remarkable. They have had to adapt to a new way of receiving services, and most of which are not in person. And what clients have told our teams are that they really appreciate that there's continuity of service, that service wasn't disrupted for them. Some clients are saying that they like the ability to connect by phone or a video conference like this better. And some staff are reporting that we're bringing in people into service who otherwise would not come because they have a hard time leaving their home. There's barriers to leaving their home, whether it's fear, anxiety, or transportation, or lack of gas in the gas tank, that this new tool in our toolbox of being able to serve people remotely is useful. It's a good thing, and it's something we want to hold on to. It won't be the only way we connect with staff and with clients, and we're eager to get back to in-person care. We're a people company. We're a people business, nonprofit, and that's where we thrive, whether it's a client or an employee. But we also want to recognize that this ability to provide care in a different way has only enhanced what we do, and we want to maintain and hold on to some of that for the future.
The counseling service has always been recognized as one of the leaders in collaboration in Addison County. Any reflections on the collaboration with other organizations, with legislators, for example, that you might want to offer? It helps us get a picture of how this time is connecting for you with the whole realm of what it means to be the counseling service.
Well, it's funny where collaboration has popped up, where it's just surprising and delightful. When we had to very quickly stop in-person services, except for our essential services, like our residential homes. We have 6 residential homes where we support people living in a communal setting. We had no personal protective equipment, or very little. And Addison County Home Health and Hospice stepped up and helped us get masks and other PPEs so that we could, ensure that our staff were safe while they were caring for people in very close proximity. With Porter Hospital, we had to very quickly take our emergency team and their service and their what they do to a remote setting. And we worked very closely with Porter to create an online assessment and a different way of communicating and a different way of assessing and a different way of supporting. So we could not have done that without Porter. I just had a great phone call with Helena from the United Way to really understand what is the unmet need out there. I think CSAC has done a remarkable job of supporting everybody who's in the CSAC family, whether it's a client or employee or family member. But we don't know what we don't know. And this health pandemic has touched so many lives. It doesn't discriminate. The trauma from this doesn't discriminate. And so we are, wanting to understand what is the unmet need out there? How might we continue to support people who otherwise don't know about CSAC? So that's been a really great conversation that we've just started. And then I have to say our legislative representatives and senators have been incredibly responsive, open, available, to really kind of understand what our needs are and to connect us to resources and connect us to the right people to be able to advocate. The state is suffering from reduced revenue and our coffers are being depleted rapidly. And this is going to have an impact on our budget. And so while we're doing okay now, I worry about the future. And our legislative contingent has been very open to hearing from me and to hearing from other designated agencies across the state about what we're seeing right now and what we're anticipating for in the future. So I feel like this has been an incredibly stressful and anxious time, but it has really shown the strength of our connections and the strength of our community. So I hope to continue to build on that and to make sure that we're able to weather this and whether our strong ties are able to weather this and be maintained as we move forward, because there's still a long journey ahead of us. We're not going back to normal anytime soon, and we're just going to need everybody's going to need everyone for support.
That sounds like a strong affirmation statement to make, and we appreciate that. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about the counseling service or yourself in terms of what this experience has meant that you might want to share?
I just realized through this how important human connection is, for my own soul and well-being, and how much I miss hallway conversations, how much I miss bumping into people within our different buildings and having spontaneous, unscheduled conversations. Everything is scheduled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, when I walk into our building, we have this beautiful building on Exchange Street, 109 Catamount Street, 109 Catamount. And it's just gorgeous. It has beautiful light, beautiful architecture, but it is so empty right now. And it makes me profoundly sad to walk in and not have clients and consumers and staff walking about, not to have community members using our conference room. And it makes me appreciate how important that all was, and makes me feel very anxious to figure out a way to get back to that, because it's essential. Being among people is essential for me and for I would argue for all of CSAC and for human beings in general. So, I yearn for a time or day when we can do that.
We affirm that affirmation with you. And thank you for this time to talk together and to bring an update for us regarding yourself and regarding CSAC and the services that are very vital to this community. This will be posted on our website of the Middlebury Community TV, and will be available on YouTube for people who want to see and engage in this update with them. So thank you, Rachel. We appreciate this time.
Thank you, Len. It was lovely to see you. I can't wait to see you in person again soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.